Okay. Actually, can I even hear myself? Okay. Okay, the mic is working. Now let me change this one down. Okay, the mic is working. And done. Okay. Hello. Should probably not put the text here, but hello. Let's get this set up. Can I change the name of this? Probably not. Whatever. Okay, so this is the old tier list. Akira's at the top. And Mayor Perry, hello. Anyway, so Akira was at the top. Using the wrong side of this pencil. Akira's at the top, Legato and the rest. Yeah. So, lots of stuff's changed, so we're going to remove everyone. And we're going to start from the bottom. Hey Arnold, welcome to the stream. Should probably put music. Let me see, open this bag up. Okay. So yeah, let's clear all this. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bottom just to get the angry people out of the way. I should probably put the stream on Discord. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bottom. And now I'm gonna change this stuff to something a little more expressive. There we go. What's up, Gonzo? Welcome to the stream. You just got here? Nice. This should be like below mid, I think. And viable. And this is all the tiers. So obviously we're gonna get this out of the way. So Shang Long, already top tier, because infinite dash cancels, infinite rolls, infinite V reversals, can burst grounded hits, has 4-side mix-ups, always is plus on block, etc, etc. Does TODs lower than 50 hits. Anyway, so we're gonna start with the lower characters, and there's nothing going to be in FF. Everything is variable in this game mostly. So let's do this, whatever. So We're gonna start with the bottom 5. Not the bottom 5 or 6, whatever. They're not really. What would I say? How would I say this? Everyone is viable because everyone can touch of death. They say that. Almost everyone is viable because everyone can touch of death, except for Lawrence. But Lawrence has other stuff that make him good. But since almost everyone can touch of death, almost all of them will be viable in some way. So, getting that out of the way, I'm gonna have to consult Discord a bit for it. Streaming. Okay. I'm gonna consult Discord a bit. Let me find this bottom 5 verses. Okay. Okay, so of course Ben goes here. Ben, he has touch of death, by the way. So Ben does have touch of deaths, but he's fat, even though he has a instant overhead. Doesn't take away from the fact that he gets comboed for days. His defense is because of quick stand stuff. They launch this character the same gameplay that is in the boss version. Yeah, they should make a separate version for the player and keep the OP version and sleep with boss. Yeah, they should have done that. But yeah, anyway, Ben, reversal grab is actually pretty good in this game because you can change your quick stand timings and just quick stand and eat their button. But whatever, his defense is still ass and he gets combos for days. Cyber. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start with the best of the top 5 because this app doesn't like being good to me. But whatever. The best of the bottom 5. I mean, the best of the bottom 5. So that would be. Let's see actually. So the best of the bottom 5, I'd say would be. I'm gonna say Hyde. Now, Hyde is kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie. And she's replacing like Lady K here, to be honest. Like Hyde, new characters. So her grab is trash. Actually, Hyde is not here, of course. Rates would be better than her. Rates is better. Rates is the best one here because he got buffed to where indirectly they made if you do any whiff, if you whiff any move and someone hits you after you whiff, you get counter hit. So yeah, you get counter hit, and his counter hit combos take you from like 100 to like death because he gets a combo into his back S, well, his 4S, and then he meaty grabs you into TOD. But yeah, Wait's better than Hyde. And I think I should just explain Hyde to explain Wait, to be honest. So Hyde has no defense at all. Her jab is the slowest shit I've ever seen. Her crouching jab is also slow. Her invincible wake up, which is her EX and the other stuff. Yeah, her EX is okay, but that's if you have meter. And her roll, they can just jab you because it's so slow. Like if someone rests a heavy on you, when on wake up, then they could just jab if they have a fast heavy. But they could also just jab you as a meaty and then jab you again if you roll. So the roll is not really that good. And for pressure, it's only good if you get in their head. But if people just keep on mashing against her, because no one's going to take damage from her mid-screen. In fact, if she's pressuring you, you always want to take the grab, because the grab leaves her at full screen and then she has to go through her terrible neutral again. She has no neutral tools. Her sweep's trash, her projectile is not good compared to the other projectiles. It's not good for neutral. If she's able to time it on wake up and you somehow quick stand into it, she's plus. But she's plus when no one's going to be mashing against her, because everyone's just going to block. Like, there's no reason to mash against this character, because the character doesn't have long block strings, and if she grabs you, then that does like no damage. That does like projectile damage, and she can't combo from it unless she crosses you up in the corner and then basically puts herself in the corner and then grabs you, and that's when she can do like Akira does it on you. But yeah, her neutral is ass compared to Rates, who has big buttons, and his crouch H is like plus and block at range, so he can actually get to throws, and his throws actually do damage. Even his standard throw does damage, and he's even more plus on his standing throw than her. So I don't even get it. I don't know what they're trying to do with this character. Like, they should just given her, they should make the grab do way more damage, and they should have made it roll like Sean's roll in Third Strike, where you can cross up. It's pretty fast, and it doesn't even need to like just it doesn't need to cross up on standing people. At least let it corpse up. At least let it corpse up. And her overhead doesn't even work as an overhead, but I'm not going to count that. I'm going to assume for this tier list that her 6L is actually an overhead. But there's a bug in the game where it's not actually an overhead. But whatever. So, who's the third worst? Yeah, Cyber. So Cyber, he just got a touch of death combo from base form, by the way. So he can land a hit on you in the corner and then just kill you, because he combos into 4 bars and then turns into Cyber Knights, and we already know how this works. Do you think a gameplay similar to DBSE would be okay in this game? I don't think so. This game is too Kusage for that, and they would never be able to balance it. I think it has its own unique gameplay flow, and the juggle system is actually pretty good. With assists, I thought you were talking about just the base mechanics. With assists, this game would be terrible. Like, just imagine Akira with already a sure port and stuff, and then you get Lady K dive kick assist, and she comes to the air, and then he's pressing a cross up overhead low, and then he can now do his jump cancel stuff. Like, I don't even want to imagine it assist in this game, to be honest. But yeah, yeah, if we had assist, Lady K would probably have one of the best ones, because her ones are just full screen, which will also leave you very plus a block. Like, I don't even want to imagine that one. Imagine a Kath assist. Imagine a Kath just drops and does 5S. What you gonna do when you block? When you block that, you're dead. If you block that, you're dead. If you get hit by that, you're dead. If you interact with that button at all, you're dead. Like, it's so funny. That one's funny. That's a good idea. That's a funny idea. But who's next here? Oh yeah, Lawrence. Actually, Lawrence is better than Cyber Knight. What am I thinking about? Yeah, Lawrence just needs mix. Give Lawrence mix, please. Without mix, he's just stuck to corner stuff. But he does a lot of damage though. So anyway, Cyber Knight there. And worst character, of course, Ben. Ben is the most unique out of all these people, because he has stuff that's actually so fun. Like his instant overhead, his cross up, non-cross up, jump S, his links. His links are so right. His links from back S into crouch jab into touch of death. Well, not touch of death, but actually he does get a touch of death in the corner from that. And then he can now link into his grabs like more. Anyway. Oh yeah, I don't think Hyde can even link into her grabs. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. But whatever. Low mid. Lawrence has hella meter game, brain dead damage, and his 5S has good block stun. His 5S has block stun. He is not plus though. His meter gain is okay, but he doesn't have a touch of death. I think. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a touch of death. His damage, because he doesn't have a touch of death. Oh, Lazarus? Lazarus has hella meter gain, but he's never getting a hit on you because his stuff are slow. His air dash is okay, but his stuff are slow. His cross-up threatening is okay. He has no mix apart from the normal mix, which everyone can just do better. Like even Ben can do more mix than him, and that's saying something. But yeah, Lazarus. Actually, I think Lazarus is better than Hyde at that point. Lazarus is probably better than Hyde, but I'll give Hyde something because she has mix. Okay, so now we can start talking about low mid. So low mid, so I'd love to put any other character here, but Lady K has to go here. 100%. Lady K has to go in low mid. Like the bottom of low mid. But since this app is kind of ass, we're gonna have to start with the top of low mid. So who's the best low mid character? Oh yeah, that'd be Wiki. Definitely. Maybe. Let me think. Let me think a bit. Who is the best low mid character here? Actually, that'll be Millions. Millions is such a counter pick. Actually, I want to put him in mid. I think he'll be like top of mid. I mean, bottom of mid. But I guess Riki would be. Yeah, Riki would be the best one here. Right. Don't see anyone better than him. That would be a low character. So yeah. Wait, not Alexis. Anyway, Wiki. Yeah, Wiki is on low mid. So Wiki, no mix, but he does touch of death off of a projectile. So, enough said, right? But he has no mix. Like, if you don't have mix in this game, you're kind of stuck in mid or low tier, to be honest. But he has a projectile. His jump S, you can IID back it. You can IID backdash, and then use the fireball, and it will hit air opponents. It's okay, but you'd rather just use the ground fireball anyway. He can threaten cross-ups. His heavy is big enough for that, and he does do good damage. He does do good damage, and his neutral buttons aren't that bad. So if they press buttons, I guess he can win. But he has no mix. Like it's so sad trying to rank characters here because since they have no mix, it's very hard. It's so hard because you have to rank them based on mix because almost everyone has damage. That's the wrong thing with this game. Like everyone does touch of death to you. So you have to rate it off of how easy it is to get that touch of death. But Wiki's on the decent. Oh, okay. So where was I? Who'll be next? I'd say Lawrence maybe. Yeah, Lawrence. I don't get what Lawrence is supposed to do. Like even with his mix, he does have mix, but his mix gives him no damage at all. So people will maybe get hit by it, and you'll frustrate them into actually getting hit by just normal buttons, and then you can't do damage. His EX got buffed. He can actually combo into it now, but not after maybe 10 hits. After 10 hits out of a juggle, it doesn't really work. Maybe 10 or 15 hits. But yeah, he can do half your health in one combo, but he doesn't touch of death you. So that's why he's low mid. Who's next? Am I sure I got all the characters here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, we move this because Kenjiro definitely just goes here. Anderson either mid or only because all the stuff is OTG and the game evolves. Yeah, his OK is actually pretty good with 5S, even though people can quick stand it. Mostly because they have to quick stand it, and if they block it, he gets like if you actually I haven't uploaded the gameplay, but even though Anderson has no mix, his cross up jump heavy is the most ambiguous thing in this game I've ever seen, and that changed my whole brain on mix-ups. Like even these characters over here low mid, if they're heavy, has them like kicking the leg out and the hitbox is also under them, that gives the most ambiguous cross-up mix in the game ever. So all they have to do is get you in the corner and then they can mix you. But to get you in the corner, they have to mix you already. So they have to set some IADs. But you can't really anti-air that good in this game, so it's really a 50-50 there. That's the only reason these people are viable anyway. I'd say they're unviable if cross-up mix wasn't so ambiguous in this game. But yeah, Kenjiro goes here. So Kenjiro, yeah, your buttons are ass, your heavy is ass, your jab is okay, your WJF is okay. I mean, WJC. Actually, it's WJF. WJF, standing medium is okay. But this character got no buttons in neutral, because everything is just reactable. Her mid-screen damage is okay, her loops are okay. She has to really go in. And then when she goes in, she can threaten with her 4S cross-up into dash cancels, or she gets you into the corner. So she has mix, but not good mix, I'd say. She can also instantly act out of her back air dash, which means she can dump over you, then back air dash heavy, and she basically does a non-cross up. She basically goes on the same side. So it's okay. Not the best because it can be telegraphed. Whatever. So anyway, put Camaro back here. And there's the Lawrence. Okay, so next low mid character. So, Shen Rae, the fall from grace. Fast buttons, all that shit. She got no mix. No mix. His EX can combo now. They nerfed the one good thing about him, which was his standing S combos. So his 5S doesn't combo into 5S that much anymore. He can barely link into it, maybe on counter hit. And it doesn't combo into his back S. So that means he can't touch of it. He can touch of death off of landing as an in neutral. So it's really only you bait buttons with it if you space it, but that's really it. Yeah, there's ambiguous spacing, but if you just block, then he kind of just pushes you to the corner, so you kind of have to actually deal with it. But it's not mix, it's just you're kind of guessing, but it's not really that mix. It's not really that much of mix compared to other characters. It's like, I'm gonna do unsafe move on your block, but then I'm going to space it ambiguously. So if you try to push a button, I'll punish you for pushing that button by using a poke. But if you don't push a button, I am going to use that unsafe move again and put you in the same ambiguous situation while pushing you to the corner, where I get actual mix. That's most of character's game plan if they don't have mix. And his one is really good because it's on an approaching move that's really fast. So that's why he's actually never mind. He's better than Ricky Maru, because that makes sense. I might have to reorder this after. But yeah. Dyson. Should I put Dyson here? I'm gonna anger a lot of people by putting Dyson here. I'll think about it. Okay. Should we just go to mid tier? Yeah, I'll come back to low mid later. Because mid, high tier, top tier is really easy to do. So, top of mid. Top of mid. Very tempted to put Millions here because he's literally anti-Vita fighters. But I think I'm going to give it to... Let's give it to Aries. Aries is slept on. Like if you go to my match, you can combo in second super in the air. I have never seen that work. I've even tried it. So unless you guys are doing something different, I've never seen that happen in this patch. Like I heard of it and I tried to do it, but I don't know. I don't know what route you guys go. But even if you do go into it, you can't really go into it after. I'm guessing, like, I'm assuming, and it's probably a correct assumption, if you go over 20 hits, you're not getting that Penta combo in the air, unless it's OTG, and you can just roll. But yeah, that's what I think of it. The timing is great as hell. Yeah, that's what I guess. I don't think it's really that useful, but it does look cool. I think it would look cool, but I've never seen it before. But yeah, Aries is slept on, so slept on. Like if you look at my matches, if you look at my online matches, if you go to my channel and you go to that one, yeah, I went versus the fans, the Aries. He doesn't play Aries, by the way. I got hit by almost every overhead. At least I got punished on one when I blocked it. But I got hit by almost every overhead this guy did, because this character is one of the only characters that has a standing heavy that can go into his slide and also go into an overhead. So he has a low overhead 50-50 off of hitting you with his very long, very approaching and big fight standing heavy. So his mix is really good, and then his combos, when optimized, I optimized his combos a while back, they're really good, especially with meter. But his meterless combos puts you in the corner straight up. But yeah, this character is slept on, honestly. I think he's top of mid. I don't know who would be considered mid tier that would be better than him, to be honest. He has a disjointed anti-air that you can combo from, but I don't think you're really gonna get combos from him that often, because they'd have to be really deep in you, they'd have to be really deep in their jump for them to get hit by the second hit. But it's still a disjointed anti-air, and it's fast. And then he has he also just says fuck projectiles, because why not? Now that's not really why he's good, but he doesn't take chip damage basically from projectiles, which, believe it or not, you can die by chip in this game. I'll probably upload a video about that later, but you can die by chip in this game. Anyway, yeah, Millions goes here now. So millions. So Millions is anti-Vita fighters, straight up. Vita fighters is all about iodine and instant air dashing in, and starts mixing, right? Well, starts putting plus frames and then start mixing. But you didn't even notice there's a chip. Okay, make a CPU block. Who's this guy? Sean's EX, and then you notice the chip. Just make a CPU block it, and you'll notice that chip. You can also make a CPU block by just walking into them, by the way. Like walk forward, and while walking, keep on pressing jab, and they will start blocking, and they will block the whole block string as long as you're holding forward. So just be like doing walk, punch, and walk while doing lights. And when they start blocking, do walk while doing heavy into EX, and then you'll see that chip damage. It's really obvious there. But yeah, Millions is anti-Vita fighters, because he just says, nope, I'm invincible, and you also, if you are point blank with me and you get hit by my invincible standing special, stand S, then I link a crouching light into crouching heavy and just put you in the corner, and then I start my forays. He has forays off of his 6S, which is the one where he starts punching you, right? So he can IID over you, do a light. He can do jump light. He can also do a crouch light under you. He can also use it for Oki, and the Oki one is very good because he can jump, and while you're blocking the 6S, you can still get hit if you're not blocking correctly. So he can jump, and if he does a heavy and you're blocking low, well, GG's, you get hit. If he jumps, he doesn't do the heavy and goes into low, you get hit, GG's. And this is multiplied times 1000 if he uses EX on you. So if he uses EX on you and you block it for that time, he can do a heavy, you block it, okay, he'll just go for another one, and then go for another one. And since that thing has so many hits, he can go for like maybe 3 mix, nothing. And if you get hit by one of them, then he gets into a stand combo into Oki into redo the situation. So all you have to do is just be able to handle pressure as this character when you don't have your stand. And for anti-airs, you just do 6S. That's all you do. You don't even need to attempt. Like, you can get hit by the anti-air. I mean, you can get hit by the IID heavy or whatever. Your stand will just help you. So unless there's that rare situation where they also hit your stand, in which case GG's, because they get double meter while comboing you and your stand, which is the funniest stuff I've ever seen. So you can either become an honest millions main and hold that block, because your anti-air, which is your crouch heavy, is not really that good, but you can become an honest millions main and try to handle everyone's mix above you. Or you can be anti-Vita fighters and say, oh, I got a move that will hit you while I'm getting hit. Too bad. I also combo from that hit into Oki. Okay, by the way, yeah. This character is so funny when I played him. I eventually lost the set when I played him online, but that was because I barely played this character after the first week. Around when my brother started playing him, then I basically just stopped playing him. I don't know why. Probably because my brother was so good at handling the pressure because he just pressed the button. He was like, damn, I guess I just can't do anything. Anyway, that's enough about millions. Next character. Oh yeah, Akira goes here. So Akira has fallen from grace. Unfortunate. Do you know what happened? So they made his what's it called? Let me see all the nerfs actually. Let me look at it. So if I touch on this word here, Akira nerfs. So okay, so this is what happens. So Akira, his standing special got more end lag. I mean, what the fuck is end lag? His standing special got more recovery, so he can't combo from it in the corner. If he just point blank 5 S's you, he point blank shurikens you, he can't really combo from it at all. I think he's plus though. Actually, maybe he's minus. That would be good because it's a projectile point blank. Whatever though. Yeah, so if he lands it, he's not really getting anything off of it unless he teleports preemptively, in which case you can press a button and it will hit him while he's teleporting. But it's sure report teleporting while doing the projectile is still really good, because at mid-screen it is actual 50-50, and the only way to escape the 50-50 is to jump and press a button behind you, but you'd have to predict that. and he could just not teleport. And sometimes you will get this hit by the projectile on the way down. It's whatever. It's a situation. But you basically just have to go in on him. He has good buttons, but yeah. They also made his standing light actually can combo into itself, but it can't combo into his medium or into his crouching light. And there's a special situation. So if he hits you on counter hits, he can go into his crouching light, but get this, it's a 1 frame link. To go from his standing light to his crouching light on counter hit is a 1 frame link. He can't do that on normal hit. So he can't do the basic thing that almost every character in this game can do, which is stand lights, crouching lights into launcher, into touch of death, whatever. He can't even do that, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have a touch of death now because his combos have been so nerfed since the beginning. Like, they just kept on nerfing him. His mix is really good. He still has like max range, well, near max range, ambiguous max range, heavy on block into jump cancel into is this a cross up or not a cross up overhead right now, and then he can just get a combo for that. He also has sure report, and then he also has cross up mix, so his mix is still good. And his EX also is a million situation where if you're blocking it, he can jump on you. He can just jump and do an overhead, and if you're not blocking high, then you die. Well, yeah, that kind of stuff. I've already explained it. But yeah, he's pretty solid, but for the wrong reasons. They should just give him back his caution light, and then he'd still be like mid tier or high tier. So they should just give him back his normal combo, honestly. Like, I feel bad. So next, mid tier. Yeah, Kath. So Kath, you know, if I never played online, I'd probably put this character at low tier, to be honest, because do you think this character's heavy is unsafe on block, and you can only cancel into unsafe thins. But then you realize when I played against the fan's Kath, the fan main's Kath, by the way. So he has the character has ambiguous stuff. So even on point blank, right? If she goes standing heavy into standing special, you can jab her, right? If you have a fast jab and fast reactions, and the reaction part is where it gets you. So if he banks on you having fast reactions, he can just go into standings. If he like banks on you mashing, actually, if you have fast reactions, then you do beat this mix, just quote unquote mix. But if he 5Hs you and you're mashing jab because you're trying to beat the special, he will just show you can you and then touch of death you because you can special cancel off of it. He can also 5H 2S you into 6S because that's a combo. But yeah, that is the mix, and I thought it wouldn't be as good as I think it is, as I thought it was. I thought it would just be like some kind of like, it's basically fake pressure, but it turns out it's actually really hard to deal with, because if you just decide, okay, I'm just gonna block all this shit, then you're blocking Kath's fireball. Like, just think about that. You are blocking Kath's fireball. Kath's. Not like Rikimari's fireball. Not like Alexis's fireball. Kath's fireball. If you block this, you are dead. It's just like that. It's just simple. If you get hit by this, you are dead. If you block this, you are dead. If they can mix you. If they know how to mix. Like, sometimes the fan messed up the mix. Actually, most of the time he messed it up. But the times he got it, if he just IAD, and then he can also jump MC low, or do an overhead actually, or do a cross up. If you block this, you are dead. Because this character, no joke, will do a crouching heavy into an air combo, end of a 5S, and for some reason, every time she does a 5S in the air, she can air dash out of it. So she has unlimited air dashes as long as she uses her jump S. So she'll carry you to the corner, build up meter, and then COD you. All from that hit. Luckily, the fan messed up his combo a lot of times, so it normally took 2 touches for me to die. But still, that's very scary. So if you block this, that's her win condition, and that's what she's trying to get you to do. So she's gonna mind game her way into doing that. And if you let her and you don't have fast reactions, you really have to have fast reactions against this character, which no one's gonna do. Even if there's rollback netcode, no one's gonna do it unless they're the top level. And at high level, maybe she's low mid, but people are still gonna find ways to make it work, because even mind games work in high level in third strike. So it will definitely happen in this mobile game. Well, it's gonna be a PC game, but whatever. Next. Oh yeah. So we're gonna remove these characters real quick because we gotta address the elephant in the room. Yes. Jin is now mid-tier. Yes, it happened. They buffed this character so much this patch. Like, hilariously much this patch. Alright, okay. So, I'm going to make a video about all his buffs, but here's what they did. They made his stand special hit cross up in the corner. Think about that. They made his stand special hit cross up in the corner. Now, he can cancel out of that into that stand special from a 0 on block launcher, which is one of the only launchers in the game that are not minus on block, by the way. So he can cancel into that, and then he can go into EX or he can go into a normal combo. Okay, think about that. The character has a touch of death already. Okay, so she was already basically low mid last patch, low key low mid, and then they made his EX so much faster, like so much faster, like so fast that I pressed it and pressed Waits 5H at the same time. Waits 5H didn't even, like, his hand didn't even go mid animation before he got hit by the EX, and the EX is full screen. It's still full screen. So what? So it's basically a Rift Punish tool that also has Oki because it has a bunch of bounces. So they gave Jin that too. And then you remember that this character is basically Summer's younger brother. In which case, he has left-right mix, he has 4-way mix, in the corner he has 5S mix, he has mix. Now, I think I'm being really dumb right now by not putting Jin on top of in front of Aries right now, but I will save that for later. I'll probably do that later because he has more mix, because Jin has more mix than Aries, and also does more damage because he touch a death. Like Aries can touch a death, but he has to have full meter. But Jin doesn't need it. Jin has meterless touch of deaths. Think of that. Now, I think I should be putting this character in high tier, but I might just hold my tongue right now and move on to another character, honestly. So now you put Dyson. Okay, I'll put Dyson here. So Dyson, of course, he can loop his 5H into his he's gonna lose his 5H into his 5SH, whatever, into his Bob H, into his dash straight. I'm just gonna call it dash straight at this point. Into his longer dash straight, can combo his standy heavy into it, and yeah, it's pretty good because he gets lots of damage, and he still gets a 6S out of that, and then he just does touch of death or whatever. Like he does corner carry. Like I still hate that loop. That loop hits you 12 times. So I still hate it. Wait, where did millions go? Millions supposed to be like right after Jin. Whoops. Okay, put mid, and then wasn't it Akira? Yeah. Wait. Okay, now you think of it. Is Akira worse than Millions? Yeah, probably. Mid. Supposed to put Kath here. Okay. So, and actually we move this too. So we gotta also address the other elephant in the room. Alexis is not mid-tier. It happened. I don't know what they were doing with this character, honestly. So they made the character in a game where if you have a hard knockdown, you get mix for days. Like mix. On a character that can touch with death. Lovely. So this character can combo his 5H, right? He can do his 5H into his 4S. I say, oh my gosh, that does no damage. Well, not only can you cancel the first hit of the 4S into an air button, which also makes him have combos, and also cross-ups if you max range it, but that doesn't matter. If you let yourself get the hard knockdown, you are so plus on a hard knockdown. They can't quick slam, they can't do nothing. You are always meaty, so you can always get your 4-ray mix, and it doesn't matter if you have a long air dash or slow air dash. But they still made his air dash good in this patch. They buffed it. They made him have Magneto air dashes. Of course, longer, but the longer but you also have a hard knockdown, so it doesn't even matter. So this guy will jump almost over you, and then if he does air dash while pressing and attack at the same time, he quick falls down, and then he cannot do a low. Or as he quick falls, he hits you with the lights. So yeah, makes sense. Next. Oh wait, shouldn't we put? Yeah, this is low mid. So, Lady K, of course, is the. I don't think there's anyone here that go in low mid. So yeah, Lady K is the worst low mid character, mostly because her defense is ass. She has full screen buttons, and her only good one is her 6S, because it can be safe, and because it's super fast. It's like the fastest thing in the game, like, to be honest. It's the fastest full screen button. But she also has good mix. I think you've seen the video. Like, if you go to my channel and you can see a video of that mix. Yeah, that mix. She also has combos. She doesn't have a touch of death unless she hits a grab, which you can only hit a grab by doing a combo into it, and that combo is super hard, but she doesn't need it as much as these bottom tiers need it. But yeah, yeah, she's okay. She has neutral buttons. Her 5L is pretty good. Her 5L also can anti-air IIDs, so she only really struggles against fast jumps. I mean, like high jumps, high IIDs. In which case you'd have to, it's not IID anymore. You're just jumping. But people can get instant overheads on her, so that's also bad. So the mix against her is even worse. I think everyone has like Jin level mix. Actually, not even Jin level. Has like Aries level mix on him, on her, if they just jump and they just press a light. So at least no one can jump cancel that much, right? Only 2 characters in this game can jump cancel that easily. Okay, so high tier. So who's the top of high tier? Yeah, this one's actually pretty difficult. I thought this would be easy. There's only like how many characters? 1, 2. Actually, I think Anderson will go in mid. There's no way he's high tier. So Anderson, yes, Anderson will definitely wash Riggity, Kath and Dyson. So fix that real quick. Anyway, yeah. So Anderson, very ambiguous cross-ups, lots of damage. His airs are also really good because he gets a wall bounce mid screen. Nandi, they're calling you. Nandi. They're calling you. Anyway, he does get a wall bounce mid-screen. So yeah, and his dog is really good Oki, because if it's coming towards you, you have to quick stand, you have to roll, you have to move, because it's OTG. And if you block it, it's also good for him because he gets his ambiguous cross up. So this is the only character that really doesn't really care about OTG that much, and is not really doing hard knockdowns. Because if he cancels into his dog, yeah, and he also has ambiguous stuff. Because if he does anything on your block that's negative, and he cancels into his dog, even if you hit him, you kind of have to drop the combo immediately because the dog will hit you. And God forbid you actually try to combo him while he press dog, because then you get hit and you get touch of death. Actually, I don't think he gets touch of death by this character, but he does do half your health. Okay, high tiers. Actually, no. Never. I think King goes in mid tier. Would King go to mid tier? I think King would go to mid tier. Whatever. King would go to high tier. Okay, so who is top of high tier though? Mega Kid, perhaps. Is it a Mega Kid or Jayhuti for me? Actually, probably Summer. Yeah, Summer. Summer. The only reason Summer is not in top tier is because she doesn't do touch of death. They nerfed her walk speed, but that doesn't really do anything. They buffed her Shuriken, but it also doesn't do anything. Who's that? Okay. So where was I? Yeah, Summer. So where was I? Yeah, Summer. She's queen of mix. So much mix that I'd want to put her in top tier, but she doesn't do the damage. I mean, she doesn't do the damage that's required to get there for mid screen anyway. I don't think she even has a touch of that yet. But if she, hey MS, what's up Master? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't think Summer does the damage needed to breach top tier yet. And then next should be Jayhuti. So Jayhuti is slept on, guys. He is slept on. If he IAD max range light, if you block that, then he goes into jump S, and then he gets an ambiguous cross up from there. He gets so much meter build. They made his Shuriken they made his Shuriken not what's it called? They made his Shuriken unscaled now, so he does lots of damage. Like that thing be doing like whose EX would it be? He's doing like he's doing like slave EX damage with his Shuriken. Like think of that. But yeah, that's it. I think that's it. That's pretty much it about him. He has mix. He has so much meter build. Yeah. Now we got Bedelia. Bedelia got buffed again because why not? Bedelia was already good. Even if her EX was trash, she was really good. She was a character with fast, long range and almost. Well, not fast. Well, fast for how long range it is. Good range normals that went not minus because she would cancel into her 5S, and that thing is sometimes plus. But she also gets touch of death now. For her damage used to be called low, but now she has links. She's the only interesting high tier apart from Summer here, because everyone else just does mash the light and then heavy button and then there's touch of death you. But this character you have to think of the distance, the links. You have to think about stuff because you're basically linking a cancel to get this to start our combos. Okay, so I think we should put Sean here, yeah. So Sean just doesn't have the range. Like honestly, you can tell me however you like. Like Sean is just Sean is so close to Legato. Sean is like just a bit. Sean is a side grade to Legato. Like he's not a side grade. He's just worse. His EX worse. His Oki better, and that's it. Actually, his Oki is probably worse since Legato's buttons are so huge and they last for so long. But Sean has 5S, which is less lag, I guess. But still, Sean is so cool, but I cannot justify putting him like in top tier at all, because he has no. I don't think he doesn't have a touch of death even. That's the funniest part. He doesn't have a touch of death. He does have the lowest IID in the game. His IID is so low, you might as well call him doing a standing overhead. That's how fast it is. But whatever. And then we have Eden here. He's the only good stoner. He has also an unblockable, but the unblockable does almost no damage, but it's still an unblockable. I mixed Rikimaru, right? Low mid. Rikimaru has no mix. He has no ambiguous spacing mix. He can mix you in the corner, but almost everyone mixes you in the corner, which is why these characters are even viable, because they can mix in the corner and then touch of death you. He can touch of death easily, but almost everyone can touch of death easily, or just does everything he does better and with more mix. So yeah. Yeah, this is a tier so far. I should probably just rename this to what at this point. Like, let's put a question mark there. Anyway, so, actually put multiple just so people don't get confused. There we go. There we go. Okay, so Eden, and then we got Sleeve. Actually, you gotta put Sleeve here, and then Mega Kid. Actually, Mega Kid is better than Sleeve. Actually, I think Sleeve should go in mid tier. Actually, yeah, he should. He's better than. Definitely better than Millions, maybe better than Alexis, I think. So I have to change that. But basically, top tier is Shinto is its best character in this game. That would be playable in the tournament. Legato is also up there, and King is supposed to be in high tier. Shinto is just better. Shinto's jump H is basically a sword. He has does have a wake up button, and his wake up button puts you in a sandvantage, and a sandvantage means that if you hold block, you get put in extra block stun, so you have to release block, and sometimes, I mean a lot of the time you'll forget that, and sometimes people won't even know. So that's funny too. And then what else? He does touch of death you. His Oki is really good. He has forays. Yeah, he's just the best character in the game. He has no weakness, and he has more moves than everyone. Crazy. Anyway, so I'm gonna fix where Sleeve is supposed to be. So boop, 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 boop. So let me talk about Sleeve's placement though, and King's. So Sleeve, this character makes his mix is okay because he has a sword jump H, which means he hits his jump H more than most characters. His jump H can also cross up, which is also pretty good, and his combos are pretty good. The only reason I'm putting him here is because he's also anti-Vita fighters to an extent, like Millions, because everyone wants to jump an IAD, and then he just anti-air hit grabs you, right? Why I put him right here? He just anti-air hit grabs you. Now the anti-air hit grab, actually, I'll put him lower than Millions just for this. So the anti-air hit grab is actually it's just okay, like in a vacuum. By vacuum, I mean not considering this game at all. Like I said, this was in Street Fighter. This anti-air grab would be kind of bad if it wasn't. Whoops, excuse me. If it wasn't Street Fighter, you know why? Because it's not an actual like grab. It's a hit grab, and you can tell this because all grabs right now they put everyone in counter hits, which doesn't change the damage or anything. It just shows that it's a grab. But with him, if you anti-air with this, and you can't hit the ground by the way. The only way to hit it is from the air. So if you hit it on someone, it's not a counter hit, which means it doesn't eat attacks, which all grabs do in this game. So if someone jabs you and your grab hits them at the same time, you will always bend that grade trade. You'll always grab them. But his doesn't, so he trades. And now that wouldn't really be that bad if you're a plus. But it's bad because if you trade with specifically a jump heavy, actually maybe even some jump lights, maybe all jump lights, if you trade with that, yeah, unfortunate things happen. So you bounce on the floor, right? You get one bounce. You basically bounce one time on the floor. They do not bounce at all. They are plus on you there. So for anti-airing them correctly, you put yourself at a bad situation. So you gotta think about that. So you gotta make sure you preemptively grab them, because if you trade, yeah, that's kind of. I think that's kind of GG's for you, to be honest. Because even though you have fast stuff, characters in this game, well, everyone above this character will mix you for life. Oh man, I messed everything up. Whoops.
Hey, Kanji. Throw in the trash.
Yeah. I hid. Let me fix this real quick. So if there's any questions, just let me know about stuff, because it's pretty set in stone for me right now. I don't think I'm pretty far off. I don't think I'm that far off. Check like this. He also has a projectile, and his air projectile, he combos from it really good. His EX full screen is basically a whip punish, pretty fast. So yeah, I don't think it's that bad. So I guess I'll make a summarization part where I summarize what the heck this tier list is. So Ben has instant overheads. He basically has more mix than most characters in this game, to be honest. But he has instant overheads, he has cross-up mix, he has grab, but he's fat. So he gets combos for days. His out of pressure options are also pretty slow. So yeah, that's why he's loser. He's just barely viable because you have a touch of death too. Cyber Knights, he has a touch of death too. That isn't what makes him viable though. His viable stuff is just he can get install, and then when he gets install, you're dead. And then he also has the install glitch, which he gets install forever until the match ends. So that's also good. Lazarus, lots of damage. If he gets you to the corner eventually, he will kill you. Hyde, underwhelming character. Your roll is slow, so they'll punish you for doing it. If you try to pressure with it, you're very negative, so they'll just jab you again. You can always just hold back against this character, so even if you grab them, you're doing no damage and basically resetting neutral, and your neutral's ass. Weight, almost the same reasons as Hyde, but you have good normals, so you can actually 5H them if they try to if they try to jump, because they will definitely try to jump your grab, because your jab actually does damage, even if it sends them full screen, because you're plus. You can air dash on that. So unlike Hyde, you're not resetting neutral for 2Sing them. You're actually doing way more damage, and in the corner you kill them for it. Unlike Hyde, which has to be in the corner to actually do damage, to do a combo from her grab. And since your grab is actually threatening, your 5H becomes a way better tool, because you'll catch them from jumping, and since it's so huge, you can actually get combos into your 6S, which also has armor. He has just more tools. He also has cross-ups. He has mid-air cross-ups like Summer, so he has more mix than most characters in this game. And because of the universal counter hit change, if you ever catch your opponents whiffing something, like they just whiffed it, and you catch them on the recovery frames, you get given a counter hit, so you can combo into your 4S, which is your overhead, and then that's a hard knockdown. And since meaty grabs always grab you in this game, you can never jump out. You just meaty grab them, you dash up first, meaty grab them, and then you touch of death them. Lady K, good neutral tools, better than weights. Very fast burst options, so you can catch your opponent just trying to walk in neutral. And her defense is okay. It's actually kind of bad, actually. Her defense is and she has disjoints. She has a dive kick too. Her dive kick's plus in most situations if you space it, and you can actually just loop the dive kicks until you then change it up, expecting them to anti-airts. So she does have mix. If you have seen my last video, she does actually have normal mix, actually like summer mix at that point. She has one of the best mix in the game in the corner. But yeah, that's summer. I mean, that's Lady K. Lawrence, he also has mix, but he has actual escape options. He doesn't do as much damage as Lady K, but he doesn't need to, because he's just a better character. His neutral is just way better. Yeah, stuff like that. What's it called? Rikimaru. Rikimaru is the ideal mid. Just like if this thing was like who's the middle character in the game, this is probably Rikimaru. Rikimaru just has good buttons. He does have no mix though, so I guess he wouldn't actually be the middle of the cast, because the middle of the cast has mix. But yeah, he has good damage. He does touch of death even from the one hit. Yeah, but everyone does touch with that stuff. Shen Rae, I'm about to say Shen Long. Shen Rae, he does have ambiguous spacing mix, but not only does he get severely nerfed from Dispatch, he also got no disjoints, and his approach game isn't that good, even if he has an IAD. So, and then we got Lady back in here, Kenjiro. So she's got a good WJF for neutral, and if she does hit that, she gets a heavy off of it into her combos. She also has mix, actual mix, from a 4S being cross up or non cross up, and then she does have good damage mid screen and otherwise. And then we move to Dyson. Dyson is just good, bro. I don't even want to explain this one, but he got loops, he got fruit loops, he got lots of damage. Yeah, I don't even know what to talk about him, but he has lots of damage. He does his mix is mostly spacing mix, but he will just push you to the corner if you don't try to retaliate, and then he can bait you retaliate and then kill you for it. Calf, same thing. If you try to retaliate against her doing 5S after doing 5H, she can switch it up and do something else, and if she hits you, if she hits you enough, you're probably going to start trying not, so okay, so the game plan is to 5H into 5SU and make you block it eventually, or make you get hit by that. So she'll basically be doing 5H, and if you try to be mash jab, she'll just 2S, and eventually you're gonna stop doing that because you just want to hold block right, and then she'll 5S you, and if you block it, you die because she got touch of deaths in the air because her her jump S gives her an air dash every time she does it. She'll just 5S, air dash, jump light, 5S, air dash, and loop that into the corner and then touch of death you. Okay. And then you got Anderson here. Anderson got the grabs, he got the mix. He can combo into that grab too, so good corner carry. He can, good combos in general, because if it's the ranged 5H, he'll probably still hit you with the grab. And what else? His dog is basically the best Oki2 in the game by far, apart from fireballs. Yeah, apart from fireballs, it's basically it's basically a Legato fireball, except actually there's no except. It's just better. Actually, no, it's not. No. I don't think the fireball is better. The fireball doesn't do that much block stun, and his own does way more block stun. So yeah. So he gets good Oki off of it, and he has also very ambiguous air dash jump H cross-ups like Kath. So that's a mix made in heaven. So sleeve, middle of the pack, good projectiles, good zoning game, okay buttons, good ambiguous cross-ups with jump H, and he also has a full screen check, which puts you in the corner, and he also has a cross-up check if he dashes up and forces you in the corner, which is a cross-up for some reason. And then we got Akira, who has fallen from grace. He used to be top tier, but now he can't even combo his standing light into his crouching light without a counter hit and a 1-frame lift. He still got his Oki, he still got his short reports. He doesn't have Oki, I think, but he still got his short reports. He still got his max range, standing H jump cancel, non cross up mix, and he still got his fireball. His EX on block mix where he does either a overhead or a light after you start blocking it, and if you get wrong, you die. Next, we got millions. He still has the best mix in the game by far. Actually, Summer is so challenging him for that, but he still got very good mix because he puts you in block stun, and then he does the Akira fireball mix, except he's doing it on a stand move, which he gets every 4 seconds. So he gets to threaten a overhead and a low every time you block that shit. And then if he does his actual EX, he gets to do that mix like 5 times before the stand finally stops trying to punch you. And then he also is anti-Vita fighters, because anytime you try to the air dash at him, he will just press forward S, and then even if you hit him, the stand will just hit you for it, and then you combo you from that. And then he also has an invincible move, which also if you ever make him block, he will just 5S out of it, and it's invincible. And if your point's blank with him, he gets a combo from it, from linking crouching lights into crouching heavy, into air combo, into Oki, into 6S, into is it overhead or low? Anyway, now we got Alexis. If he lands 1 hit on you, he's going to combo into 4S and loop the schmicks out and loop the shit out of you, mixing you like as if it's MVC3 with his new jump Magneto air dash fastball shit. So yeah. He also has good Oki now. He can also dash cancel his 5S. So if he ever catches you lacking and you somehow get hit by his slow projectile, he is going to combo you into 4S. And then if he gets you near the corner, which he always will because he has super good corner carry, then he will just TOD you. And if he ever punishes you with his EX, he is going to kill you from air dashing into heavy, into touch of death. Anyway, next. Jin touch of death you meterlessly. He also, he also has the best mix in the game. That's very clever. I think him and I think actually not Summer still has better mix. So he still has the second best mix in the game, and he gets that off of his super fast air dash, and he basically has air block strings. It's funny. They made his 5S also cross up in the corner and make it actually hit now. So he will hit you on block and you're gonna light him, right? But then he 5S's you, your light whiffs, and you're still blocking, right? But then he actually crosses you up. Well, fuck you then. And then he then touch or ducks you meterlessly, because why not? They also made his WJF5M. They made that cancel into EX much easier because EX became so much faster. He can whiff punish you with that shit now and then get Oki off of it. And he also has a anti-air shoryuken that's disjointed and fast for a disjointed one. And he also has a air heavy, which you can't anti-air if unless you have a disjointed anti-air, which is funny. So he basically beats disjointed anti-airs and he has a disjointed anti-air himself. So that's funny. And then we have Aries. Aries only slightly passes him because he has consistent mix, while Jin has to actually IID, which is not that consistent. I mean, you know, I'm really tempted to put Jin over Aries here, but we're not going to do that. So, Aries, yeah, he has consistent mix, he has touch of deaths, he has good combos, he has good whiff punishes with his EX, and yeah. And then King hits you with full screen normals. He has a tiger knee, which basically instant overhead jump S, and that potentially can combo you. And then full screen normals, which he converts from into EX, which is pretty good. He also has what's it called? He also has that Trump and that Spider-Man move. I'm just calling that web sling move, where he just goes full screen, and then he can air dash that, I'm pretty sure, on riff into jump lights and probably cross up you. He has a lot of stuff. He also has a full screen low. That's fast. So, and it's like the animation just fucks you too. What else does he have again? He also has the Air 4S, which is very good at anti-airing. And yeah, also he has no hurt boxes on his special moves and on his heavy moves as well. Anyway, so then we got Legato's in top tier. What the fuck? Anyway, so then we got Mega Kid. Mega Kid. The only reason actually Mega Kid should probably be better. Like, actually, let's remove this. Oops. Anyway, so Mega Kid, yeah, Mega Kid, he has summer air cross-up mix. He has overhead mix, but his overhead doesn't really get into anything. He has lows. He has a sand advantage on his low. Sand advantage means that if you hold block, he's basically plus. If you release block, you can punish him. So knowledge check on that. And sometimes you're just gonna forget and just make him be plus, which is funny. So yeah, this character is just really solid. He has he also has Dyson links. He has 5S, which you just can't really do anything about it. After the anti-airs, you can't reversal, you can't block reversal, you can't do anything about that move. You can't interact with that move at all. So sucks for you, man. He has touch of that. He has a full screen riff punish EX. That EX also hits you in the air. You cannot escape it. You must block it. But luckily, if you block it near him, then you can punish it sometimes. Anyway, did I mention he has summer air cross-up mix? Okay, moving on. Now we got Sean, which is not the side grade to Legato. He's just worse by like 3 characters. But he has an IOD light, which is basically like saying walking up and doing an overhead, because that's how fast it is. And he's so low to the ground too. so he will definitely mix you just from that. Like, he doesn't have mix, but he has mix. It's basically an instant overhead at this point. And then he has good Oki because it's fireball. Actually, yeah, the best Oki in this game is actually Anderson's dog, because the fireballs don't hit OTG, whatever. So yeah, he can do fireball, and if they quick stand into it, well, sucks to be them. They're gonna eat some mix again, but he doesn't have the best mix on Oki, and his EX isn't the best either. It's an okay anti-air because it hits them away, not because it does damage or gives you a combo. His EX will never ever hit unless you're doing a standing combo, because almost everyone is going to quick stand that if you ever try to juggle into it. Next we got Bedelia. We know she's been low-key high tier for this for a long time now. So yeah, she is top 5. She does got touch of death. She has a jumping heavy, which is, her jumping heavy is the worst case of you can never anti-air me in this game. You cannot anti-air that move. She also, like Jin, with a disjointed jump heavy, also has a disjointed crouching heavy, which means she anti-airs everything in the game. So funny. So unlike Jin, who has to Shoryuken, which can potentially whiff if they like don't jump, or like they don't jump close enough, like she just crouching heavies and then she's just fine because she can, like, you can whiff punish it, but you're not whiff punishing it. So yeah. And then she has touch of that. She's the most interesting high tier, and because she has to link into her stuff. I might play her one day, but yeah, she has okay mix. She has force knockdowns, which is basically Alexis on steroids again, but you can't combo into it, or you can combo into it, but why would you if you can just touch of death, right? Anyway, if she does land it in a neutral though, you kind of just eat 4-way mix. So next we got Jayhuti. Jayhuti just as the crazy meter build, which means he always has burst. He has more burst than almost anyone in this game, to be honest. But he also has a mix on top of that, and then he does has his dive kick mix is also really good. I did just say that right. Yeah, his damage is really good. They buffed his Shoryuken to actually do on-skill damage like most Shoryukens in this game, and yeah, he's really good. Summer is just so close to being with the big boys up here, but she doesn't have the damage. She has the best mix in the game though. She has a full screen low whip punish. Her neutral buttons are 5H, but that thing can be whip punish the fuck out of. She doesn't really have pokes. I just realized she doesn't have pokes at all. She has 5S, but that thing's slow. So she doesn't really have pokes in neutral, and they lowered her walk speed, so that doesn't help at all. So yeah, her neutral is but whip punishes are fine. And yeah, she does 4-way mix on you. She can hit you on block from the air, right? Go to one side and then press her jump S, and she goes to the other side and then just combos you. So yeah, she has crazy mix. She got 4 ways. She actually has 6 ways, so which is funny. And you can't OS against it even if you have a parry. You can't OS against most mix in this game even if you have a parry. But yeah. Then we got Legato. Legato, the only reason this character is not the best character in the game, and by best character I mean like best character that would be actually played at a tournament right now, because Shen Long is not getting played at a tournament, and I'll explain why later. So Legato is definitely not going to be that kind of be better than Shinto, mostly because he has no actual mix. So the only reason he's better than Summer is because of 5H, honestly. 5H, jump H, and jump S. And 4S. Actually, all of his moves are just outclassing Summer at this point. He doesn't have crazy mix. Actually, his corner mix is actually better than most characters in this game, even though most characters have cross-up corner mix. But still, his damage is super crazy, super easy. He's the easiest character in this game by far. you just press 5H if it hits. If it blocks, you just do 4S, or you just jump on them and then do 5H and you block for days. So whatever. Projectile, good projectile. Good Shoryuken. Shoryuken does mad damage. So yeah. And then Shinto, the opposite of Legato. He's hard. You have to micromanage between his stances. He has setups, but when you realize his full potential, he is actually pretty crazy. He does have cross-up mix with his teleports on Oki. He does have good coverage because he's one of the characters that don't care about quick stance, because he will just ice pull you. He just put an ice pull on the ground, and then you're gonna have to get up into it eventually, and then you're gonna have to block it, which means he's gonna do mix. And then his jump H is basically a sword, and then he also has a teleport which can give sand advantage to him, but it's still negative, but it's still sand advantage, which means you can't really punish it if you're not looking for it. And then sometimes it just hits you because it's a teleport. Everyone gets mixed by teleport at this point. It also like doesn't care about projectile sometimes. Like he can see the start of a projectile and then just hit you, but that mostly never happens. And yeah, now we get to Shang Long. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Akira also touched you off of everything. Anyway, so now we get to Shang Long. Shang Long. So let me try to list everything this character says since I'm tired right now. So he's got infinite dash cancels, infinite block reversals, infinite rolls, and he doesn't have infinite bursts like Cyber Knight on install, but he can burst your grounded hits. So he then has the best movement in the game. In fact, too fast. Sometimes you can't even control it. Actually, I don't think you can even microspace in the air with this character at all. But he has fastest movement in the game. He will whiff punish you for days. He will just dash up light. His Shoryuken is invincible. The first invincible Shoryuken in this game. It's not that good. Actually, it's pretty good. It's invincible like frame 1. So I guess it's pretty good. You'd have to really be good at timing it though, because you can't really buffer reversals in this game at all. Anyway, he then added a Shuriken. If you block it, right, and then normally if you block a Shuriken, ooh, they eat a touch of death. Let's go. Or they eat a lot of damage, because sometimes the Shurikens are like lagless as they reach the floor, so you can't miss a punish. So you have to punch them in the air, and doing air punishes is kind of hard in this game. Anyway, if you try to do it, he can EX out of it, and it auto corrects. And if you block that, you eat a lot of mix, just like if you're eating millions EX mix. Except he only does it once, but it doesn't matter because he has nothing negative on block. He will keep on doing shit on your block, and if it was like who else kind of has this mind mix? Actually, no one has this kind of mix. I mean, no one has this kind of block coverage, because he will just cancel everything into 5S until you eventually try to press a button. And he doesn't even need to do that. He can do his hop, his double or something. His double, and you do double elbow cross up, or he'll do double into low, or he'll do double light kick. I mean, you do double catchy cross up, or he can do double and he doesn't actually cross up and he just hits you from the front. And then if he does any of those, he's still plus, so he just does it again. So yeah, he doesn't care. And then he combos from anything. He can literally combo from his Shuriken point blank without needing to do the fireball follow up. He can Shuriken you and then dash up light you into touch of death. Did I mention he touch of death is off of anything? Yeah, he does. And then, what else? He can combo into his Raging Demon whether you block it or get hit by it. I mean, when you block, like, he can use a Fireball. And if you block it, you take, how much damage? Let me find out. Actually, if you block it, you get hit. But the Raging Demon doesn't actually do that much damage if you block it and you're trying to hold up. If you don't hold up, you take 4 damage. But who's not holding up when you see the Raging Demon flash? Anyway. But if you get hit by the Fireball, you take 4 damage. Plus the Fireball does basically as much as some people's ultimates in this game. So lots of damage. He can combo into it from his any move, like from his heavy even. His EX are just great in general. They do so much damage, and he has 4 of them, which is just funny. That's not even why it's good. That's just funny. He has overhead. He has a command overhead, which combos into his 5S, which means he combos into more stuff. Did I mention that if you do his 5S, he gets a jump in combo from it? That's how plus it is on hit. So if he just overheads you into 5S, he does a full jumping combo on you and then kills you. Whatever. And then what else does he have? Yeah, his walls are pretty ambiguous. I mean, they look like dashes. Let's see. What else does he have? His air fireballs are kind of dumb. His air fireballs literally are so plus. Like if he does hop into his air fireballs, they kind of it's just too much. He has so much plus moves. So this character will never ever be used in tournament or even online, I bet, because they'll just ban him. They'll just not allow you to pick him. So onto the trim this character down, he is never getting used, which is kind of sad because I like him. I'd probably not main him, mostly because I have a lot of characters I main right now. But he's pretty fun. Maybe I'd main him. Okay, that's a long ass stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.